we're live. Hello.
Oh, all right. Well, good morning and welcome to
Good
the pregame.
morning.
Oh, or whatever. It could be morning for somebody. And so if you're just joining us, you can jump ahead up right about 4 minutes, and that's when the real show will start. This is kind of the pregame warm up still, as we all get everything ready to go and wait and wonder if Mark will once again arrive. He always does, but oh, that's not it.
Right.
All right.
Oh, that's not right.
And I'm trying to make that go away, but well, that's fine. I can deal with that. Hope that everyone is having a lot of fun out there. And I'm trying to get hooked up to the internets in the right way and put all the windows in place. Because this is very
It's fascinating to listen to.
I know but we're not
Well,
alone.
when you have roughly 7,000 windows open on your computer, it does make it kind of difficult.
And it's Jim's first. Hiya, Jim.
Oh, Jim's first. You know what that means?
Yeah.
Well, it would mean that if I was on the right page. Oh, come on.
That's what he's asked for.
I know. I'm trying. I gotta sign in. Okay. There we go.
Massive cannibalism.
And that's
right.
First up. Yep.
That's right.
Excellent. Oh, let's see what else we have here. Okay, got this. And he is he was very thankful. He said thanks. And he said great and thanks with the exclamation points.
Hey, all right.
Oh, 2 more minutes of exciting talk. So you feeling better?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I was feeling pretty good yesterday afternoon.
like you to remember that.
Yeah. I remember on the way home having a milkshake and falling asleep in the car and spilling my milkshake on the floor of my own car.
Yep.
It's because I was driving at the time. No, I was not. I was not.
Well, we'll tell everybody that story.
That's right. We'll just tell everyone I was.
And Tim's here. And a scant less than 2 minutes, I think, before the big shoe.
Yeah, we're at about 60 seconds.
60 seconds. That's well, 45. That's crazy talk. Put that there. Put that there. Put that there. That covers all the have tos. Well, I mean that plus the beer. I'm responding to Jim.
It's about time to go.
And Matt Dunlap's joined us. And Codex. Quizzer can't make it. Well, you have to tell Quizzer hi.
But you know what? We got
movie
movie
sign.
sign.
All right.
Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bombs and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome to the 104th live edition of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I'm your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from the penthouse control room of the majestic Wilder Industries skyscraper. With me, as always, is Mark.
Hey,
There he is.
Yeah, I saw him just right before this. And the missus in the deep bunker.
Hello.
He's stuck in the deep bunker again.
Yeah.
But we'll never tell people where it is because it's an undisclosed location, deep in the bowels of the earth. So any great fun times this weekend, Mark? Anything fun happen?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay. Well, we do have a story that involves the missus. So yesterday, the missus. Well, first off, let me tell you, the missus hates going to the dentist.
Hate's a weak word for that.
Hates.
That's a weak
It-
word. I'm just saying it does not convey
So
the
you
depth of my
you
feelings.
have pre-traumatic stress
Yeah.
disorder.
Well,
whatever.
you were with me the last time I went.
Yeah, that didn't turn out well.
No, it did not.
When the dental assistant comes out and says, "Your wife is crying in the bathroom," it's probably a good idea. A good sign that the dentistry did not go well.
Yeah.
But this time you had the aid of pharmacological assistance.
Yes, and a lot of pre-pharmacological assistance, and it was prescription stuff. So, yeah.
Anti-anxiety pills, and then something so you don't remember. I mean,
No, I mean, I remember it. I mean, I think I kind of slept through the dentist appointment. I just remember open your mouth. Okay. I'll do that.
Do you remember getting the milkshake?
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, she was pretty loopy. It wasn't.
I was very
Valium.
relaxed. It was nice.
It wasn't Valium. If I had my phone, I could bring it up. I looked it up, and it was some sort of stuff that they use for sedation dentistry. So
Shocking that would be what they'd give me, right?
But yeah, but it wasn't Valium, or it might have been Valium, but it wasn't that name. So,
And I didn't even have the full go of it because we couldn't get my prescription the night before. I was supposed to take some the night before.
Yeah, that was one where you got mad.
Yeah, I was kind of mad at you over that.
Yeah, I'm still saying it's not my fault, but let's not bring everyone into that one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, not my fault.
Yes,
All right, looks like the Wall Street Journal.
No,
is
wait,
finally...
no, wait. I have other funny stuff to share.
Oh,
I told you this. How were
Okay.
you not prepared? See, right? This is exactly what happened with the prescription. I said,
Okay.
you go pick it up, and you go, yeah, sure, I'll go do that. And I came out, and you were
didn't
asleep in the
say
chair.
nothing of the sort.
Yes, you did. Anyway,
Okay.
okay. So, you've all seen the really famous picture of Bigfoot, right? Where he's walking the video. What's the name of that film?
Patterson film.
Yes, the Patterson film. New revealing images. This is a great shot of Bigfoot, and I think you'll all enjoy it. And I think that you can plainly see how real Bigfoot is. Here he is. Are you guys paying attention? So you can see it? You're not even listening now, are you?
I am. But
Okay,
I'm
all
looking
right, here
forward
it
to-
is. Here it is.
There you go. He's Mr. Coldmeister.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Freeze.
New images. Now I have another one too, and this is pretty good. I think it's probably done by AI.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. And it's so good. I thought this was so good. I turned it into a book cover. Here's the book cover.
When the corn met.
When the con
met
the
the dawn. It's kind of funny.
There you go.
When the con met the dawn.
Yeah.
All
All right.
right.
We can venture boldly ahead now.
Matt says he needs eye bleach now. All right. Codex also notes that dental hygiene is so wonderful. She's going to miss it more than modern plumbing. We are bombs and bants, and that is the apocalypse. Are we good for the show? We have the runway hit.
The what?
Looks like the Wall Street Journal has finally noticed the overwhelming amount of money being flushed into Ukraine, and also looks like perhaps our crazy Z commercials turn out to be maybe not the commercial that's in the comedy show, but actual news.
Was that
Here's-
my cue? Because it's not what's written on the paper.
Here's headline this evening and Newsbot with clip.
From Sorry.
The US and European nations have sent billions of dollars worth of equipment to Ukraine from existing military stockpiles, and countries are now starting to replace some of that inventory amid a broader rise in military spending. Global military spending rose for the 8th consecutive year in 2022 to a record high of $2.24 trillion, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, a think tank. Artillery guns and the shells they fire, drones, missile defense systems and multiple rocket launchers are all heavily used in Ukraine. Some of this equipment made by the likes of BAE Systems, Rheinmetall, Lockheed Martin, and RTX, formerly known as Raytheon Technologies, is now receiving orders or interest from potential buyers, arms makers say.
Come on down for RPG. 3 for $1.
Gently used.
Gently used. Javelin missile. Perfect for beach vacation. Now, $199 for 4.
And the Wall
What the
Street Journal
heck?
is just now noticing that.
We call this.
We scooped the journal.
We scooped the journal.
Yeah.
And we had a lot more fun with it. Mark, did you know this was going to happen?
No, I would never have expected a corrupt government over in that area of the world to embezzle money and sell any weapons we would give them. Completely unexpected. I am shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
Well, not that shocked.
Well, she's very shocked. Very shocked. All right. But that brings up to, we could have done Crazy Z doing this, but you had to do this while I was away. We do have a sponsor again, Slapcop. Slapcop has now started an educational institution. And why don't you take it away?
Are you thinking about a new career? Hoping to make more money to better care for your family? Do you just need a change in the direction of your life? If you answered yes to any of these questions, I'd like to invite you to apply to the new Slap Cop School of Broadcasting and Home Dentistry. Broadcasting? Home dentistry? But those seem like two very different occupations. Right you are, my friend. They couldn't be more different. But, as we like to say here at Slapcop Industries, why can't you do both? Slapcop Industries prides itself on producing talented, well-trained professionals who are capable of voicing their own commercials and filling their own cavities. You don't need those fancy false teeth. You have plenty of gravel in your own driveway. Just pick one that's the right size, polish it up, and pop it into place. And the best part of the Slapcop School of Broadcasting and Home Dentistry is that it all happens in one building. Why, here comes one of our broadcast students now, coming from the dentistry end of the building. Say, Billy, how are classes going?
The classes are going really well. Thank you for asking.
You heard it here first, folks. For those of you looking for a new career or just something new and exciting in your life, look no further than the Slapcop School of Broadcasting and Home Dentistry. Ask for us by name.
Warning. The Slapcop School of Broadcasting and Home Dentistry has been closed by federal authorities until further notice pending review of alleged violations of several health ordinances and the involuntary servitude clause of the 14th Amendment. But go ahead and send us that tuition check. We'll just hang on to it until we reopen, which should be any day now.
So Jim wrote, is it safe? And I'm like, dang, he totally scooped me. He scooped me.
Beat you to it. Beat you to it.
And Tim notes, congrats to Miss and John. Very nice. So noting that, all right, so I need to give a little bit of backstory on this one because I remember reading the Wall Street Journal. This was in the 90s, and there was an article about these people who performed their own home dentistry. And what did they do? They literally went out to their driveway and they'd pick up pieces of gravel and find the ones that were roughly the right shape and then glue them into their teeth. So then the missus and I met and we saw this on, was it the Daily Show?
It was the Daily Show. It was back before Jon Stewart. It was back when Craig Kilborn was hosting the Daily Show.
Yeah, and they did an entire show on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, just There are people out there who look in their
Practice home
driveways,
dentistry.
to find pieces of gravel to glue into their mouth for teeth.
Well, I was in the drugstore the other day, large national chain, and looking like at floss and stuff. And they have over-the-counter stuff that you can buy now if you lose a cap or a crown or something. It's temporary dental glue so that you can glue it back in until you can get it fixed. And I know people are like me out there who are going, temporary, huh? Challenge accepted.
Well, the way you described that too, it sounded like I went in there and I was looking at some dental floss, maybe hoping to take it for a test drive, maybe see how it felt.
I was shopping for dental floss. I bought a new kind I hadn't tried before, and I've been very happy with it. Despite the fact that I hate dentists, and actually because of the fact that I hate dentists and never go to this. So this past time I went, it's been like more than 20 years since I've been to a dentist. But I take really good care of my teeth because I don't like dentists. And this was just a thing that, it was a tooth that had broken a really long time ago, but didn't bother me. And then a filling that had broken and was kind of bothering me. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Was that enough dentistry for today, Mark?
No. They also sell. You can also get stuff for making temporary fillings.
Yeah, I saw that too. They had that too. Yeah.
And there's a company in Australia that developed some emergency dental stuff for troops to use for their troops that were in Afghanistan and Iraq, and they sell some of the stuff to the public, and I think it's called Dentist in a Box. Anyway, you can order from there. I haven't ordered, but anyway, it's out there in case anyone wants to Google it.
That's certainly not me typing in the background.
All right. That was me. Oh, by the way, we found the missing jet plane. This man heard it crash.
In the bathroom taking a shave, and I heard a screeching, between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. Then my whole house shook.
That man is a national treasure.
He uses on television show.
Now, I have to say, as a broadcast professional, when he started that interview and he said, I was in the bathroom taking a shh, my heart jumped just a little bit until the word shave came out of his mouth. Yeah.
Codex notes, her driveway is gold. I'm going to call back to the dental.
Hey!
And Matt notes the whole house jumped. And Jim says, sounds like major pain. And I look at it, and I think he should have been on Match Game in the 70s. I think he could have been, right in the top, right above Richard Dawson.
Could have been, yes. Mm-hmm.
So that's retired paper mill worker, 72-year-old Randolph White of rural Williamsburg County of South Carolina. Looks pretty good for 72. You need to save that one.
I do. I have that one saved.
All right. So, Mark, what are your thoughts about the viability of the F-35 after all this?
I think it'll provide generations of children. Well, maybe not generations, but it should provide computer savvy children quite a bit of fun as they hack into it and fly them all over.
How do you know it wasn't Elon Musk? I bet it was Elon Musk. He can probably do it from his phone now. He can control the entire Air Force from his phone. All right. Dick Clark has passed away. No, this is not a repeat from 2012. The Dick to which I refer is not the guy who was American Bandstand, although if this picture pops up in your news feed, the story might have been written by an AI.
Because when I first saw this story, this was the picture that came up with this story.
Mm-hmm.
It was a picture of this Dick Clark. Yeah,
he's immortal. He's come back for more human blood.
Well, yeah, that was my first response. Isn't he already dead? Did he just die? No, that's the Price is Right guy who's different from Dick Clark.
Mm-hmm. Dick Clark, who just died, is the former senator from Iowa who looks like that. Wow, he looks like you've been talking about maybe
he really does.
Something odd. Yeah,
he didn't serve very long. It might be in the audio here. I think you'll.
Well, the overly cheerful newsbot will have more.
Dick Clark, a Democrat who represented Iowa in the U.S. Senate from 1973 to 1979, died Wednesday at his home in Washington, D.C. He was 95. In 1972, Clark defeated two-term Republican incumbent Senator Jack Miller in a campaign where he walked across Iowa on foot, greeting Iowans one-on-one. His win came in a year when Republicans Richard Nixon and Robert Ray won Iowa's votes for the presidency and for governor. Clark served on the Agriculture, Public Works, and Foreign Relations committees during his time in the Senate. His work on the Foreign Relations Committee included chairing a subcommittee overseeing Africa, where he advocated for the end of apartheid in South Africa.
So there you go, a one-term Democrat senator from Iowa.
Who served his one term in the 80s?
70s. 73 through 76. 79, sorry.
Okay. And that made it... Okay, well, that's our third story.
That's
it.
That's
our third story.
That's national news, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, we're skipping right
now.
next to...
No, I think the reason why it made national news is because he has the same name as that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And also his first name is Dick. And if there's one thing that media people like, it's the ability to say Dick on the air without punishment from the FCC.
So you're saying that they look for all the Dick they can get.
That's right. Any stories about Dick, media people are on top of it. Media people jump right on that.
Mark, you want to avoid this one like the plague, don't you?
Yes. Although it is sort of interesting that he was, his name was Dick, and he was elected, right about the same time as Richard Nixon.
I think
perhaps there was a conspiracy to elect Dicks.
No, they just swapped Dicks. Nixon resigned. He got elected.
There's a whole bunch of Dicks in politics. All right,
yeah, that's for damn sure.
And in fact, I wish Led Zeppelin had written a song called "That's a Whole Lot of Dicks." That's a whole lot of dicks.
No, that one was called the Lemon Song.
Okay. All right, let's squeeze the juice and move to.
I'll squeeze your dicks. And they go, ah! No, you know what sound that they make when you squeeze them?
Matt notes, Mark, you should have stayed out of this. He has a huge laughing emoji on that one.
I tried.
YouTube strikes in 3, 2, 1. We're talking about Dick Clark. AI, we're talking about Dick Clark. All right. Do you like donuts? Well, so do bears. Do you know what to say to a bear that tries to steal your donut? That's right. You say, "Help yourself, Mr. Bear." KTUU Anchorage explains.
Thursday morning at the Krispy Kreme store in Muldoon, store manager Candace Sargent got an unusual call.
And for me, I didn't believe it. I was really astonished.
Her delivery driver reported bears were in the back of his van.
There's no way that bears are in the back of the van. You'd think donuts and bears. And then I was like, okay, well, how do we solve this?
The driver had left the van briefly unattended as he made a regular delivery to an express store on J-Bear. What he didn't know is that a mama black bear and her cubs were regular customers outside the store. And that morning, they were on the prowl for something sweet to eat.
And by the way, J-Bear, for the non-Alaskans in the audience, is Joint Base Elmendorf Richardson.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So that's bears. Mark, do you think that those were actually policemen in bear suits?
Oh, maybe.
Apparently, they ate nearly all of the donut holes, and then they ate 10 boxes of donut holes, and then 2 boxes of chocolate donuts.
If their name were Richard, the Dicks could have eaten the donut holes.
I know, it could have been. It's 2 Dick Clarks in bear suits.
All right. Did the bears drink coffee too? We will never know, Jim Wetzel. We will never know. All right.
Yeah, they can't. Keeps them up too much. It's winter. They're hibernating.
Yeah.
Is it winter? It's almost winter. I have no idea what time of year it is.
And Matt says, sounds like a normal breakfast for me. Yep. And all right. Moving right along, we have more funny things. So I'll let you.
And yet another news story.
What's the news story?
Here it is. You're listening to it. It's the breaking news music.
This is a YouTube Action News Special Report.
Thank you. I'm Newsy Newserton, reporting live from Palm Springs, California, in the elite community called the Madison Club. We've had reports of large bears ransacking a Krispy Kreme donut truck. We're close to the truck now. Let's see if we can get some sound as to what's going on over here. Oh, and as you can hear, the sounds of the animals tearing things up and eating the monstrous jaws and tearing and
whatever she says, like add 10 extra minutes onto that. I hate waiting for people when we're supposed to be eating. Especially when I'm pregnant and starving.
Those aren't bears. They're the Kardashians. Oh, well, that makes sense, I guess. Back to you in the studio, Bob.
This has been a YouTube Action News Special Report.
So I do like the idea of someone mistaking a group of Kardashians for bears.
You were going to send me that picture, and you never sent me the picture, man.
I didn't. Would you like me to send it to you? We can share it with people later.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Do you want me to send it to you through
email?
chats?
Do it to email.
Email. Okay. Well, that's more complicated. So you better play the Brain Jackass of the Week thing.
Okay.
This is Neil Young.
Hey, get that jackass out of here!
And I'm proud to present my Brain Jackass of the Week.
All right. Number one is one of our most common candidates, resident of the White House, Brandon Magoo, who all too often.
Yeah, apparently I didn't finish writing that sentence.
So why did you walk us into that?
Okay, all right. Now I'll walk us into this. I mean, I kind of Joe Biden that one off, didn't I? All too often, the president just kind of. What the hell am I? Where am I?
That's the thing, the thing.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
The democracy.
Yeah. So anyway, he said this week. Here it is.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs.
So he screws up LL Cool J's name. And then calls him a boy. Now he caught himself. And corrected himself. But the kicker of this story?
Yes.
He did this at a Congressional Black Caucus event.
Excellent.
Yeah!
That's some genius work there.
Go, Magoo.
Genius work there.
On top of it. On the ball. All right.
All right.
So that's our first one.
Okay.
The second one is U.S. Secretary of Education Miguel Cordona. I think that's his name. Cordona? Or is it just Cordona?
Cordona?
I don't know.
Does it have the tilde over the end?
I don't know.
Can you read?
My keyboard doesn't speak Spanish. It doesn't have that.
It does.
I mean, it does, but you have to press.
You have to be smarter
buttons.
than the keyboard. Goof.
So I don't know. Well, no, there is no. There does not seem to be an Enye.
There is. You just have to know.
No, I just typed it up. It's not there.
Okay.
It looks like Cardona. All right. So anyway, that's him. Here's the jackassy thing he said.
I respect differences of opinions. I don't have too much respect for people that are misbehaving in public and then acting as if they know what's right for kids.
And what he's talking about there is parents who go to school board meetings and get into it with the school board members. Okay, so these are people whose children are in school and schools are doing things that they don't like. Their taxes paying for these schools. And this is what our Secretary of Education said, in case you missed it the first time.
I respect differences of opinions.
Except
I don't
yours.
have too much respect for people that are misbehaving in public and then acting as if they know what's right for kids.
Right, because how could
You
parents
like
know what's right for their kids?
parents?
Yeah, right?
Miguel, you're a very, very strong candidate. And I need to, find my screen because I lost my screen.
Again, it's the 7,000 tabs that you have open.
Well, yeah.
But if I close them, how am I going to find them again when I'm ready to read them? It's 37 years.
Well, that's not it. Hang on just a second. Tap dance for a second for me.
Okay, let's see if I have some music we can play here.
I just sent you the Kardashian thing, so it should be in your inbox.
All right. Well, but then I have to open it and download it and put it into OBS and all this stuff, which is okay, that's worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah, that was my initial reaction when it came up. So, yeah, let me do that because it totally is worth it. I gotta type a few things here. All right. Where did it go? I just saved it and now I can't find it.
Oh, yeah. This is some cinema. Everyone has to drink.
I know, right?
Look what you did. You made everyone drink. That's what we do when we have technical difficulties. Everyone has to drink, except for Mark.
Oh, there it is. It was just slow. There it is. See, it's worth the wait.
It is worth the wait. That's a whole. but just like Led Zeppelin, I think that girl's seen a whole lot of. Oh,
she squeezed a lot of lemons in her day. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, maybe. Speaking of eye bleach,
that's a lot. That's a lot of hair there for.
There is not a third one to vote on. Jim is voting for number 2.
Okay.
Yep, and Matt knows. Oh my god, that's worse than Hillary and the Don. All right, so folks, I think I've got a pretty clear guess on where I would go. Jim has voted for number 2, and Codex is gone for number 2. No pressure, Mark. Where are you headed?
I'm definitely going number 2.
Fecal matter.
Tim is for number 2, and he's also very glad the photo didn't go lower. And Codex notes because we don't have enough lampposts for number 2. So that is universal that Cardona can.
And this has been Neil Young's Brain Jackass of the Week.
Eat a bag of Richards. All right.
With some lemon juice.
So I need you to make up an intro for this with some cool jazz music.
Well, this is not the time to ask me to do that while we're in the middle of the actual podcast.
But I'm remembering now. So we need some cool jazz. In fact, I know exactly. You could even use Jeremy Clarkson's intro.
So really what you want me to do is just steal the Grand Tour's Conversation Street intro.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly that.
Okay.
They haven't done it in 5 years.
Okay.
I doubt they'll strike us for that one.
It's the music perfect. Though. It's the music where we get the strikes.
Yep. Yes, and I imagine they won't look for that because it's just some kind of incidental music. So anyway,
you would be surprised.
Welcome to our stroll down Conversation Street. So, and this is where we, rather than think real fast, it's a little bit more free-form than that monstrosity, but this is where we just sit and start and talk about the news. Elon Musk has apparently fired the Twitter or X election integrity team for undermining election integrity. Mark, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I'm glad somebody finally did it. These people never suffer consequences, so I have to wonder, are they now going to move on to teaching positions at Princeton or something?
Yes, they fell upwards. The missus, what do you think on that one?
So he fired the people who worked at Twitter who did all the election banninating last time around?
The people who banned the accounts that showed Hunter's laptop. Yes, he fired those.
Why didn't he fire those people first? Why were they still working there? Come on, Elon.
Well, they probably had a contract with the CIA.
True.
All right. Apparently, this is a story. I don't know how true this is. All of this should be taken with a grain of salt. Anthony Fauci was allegedly smuggled into the CIA headquarters with no record of his comings or goings, according to floppingaces.net. They did that in order to help shape the CIA's story on COVID-19's origins. Mark, what do you think on that one?
It would not surprise me. I mean, I saw an article. Oh, I can't remember how long ago. It wasn't too long, maybe like within the last month or so, about the CIA paying some of their consultants or whatever to make sure they came up with the correct answer on where COVID originated. So,
see, now you guys are both working on getting us kicked off YouTube. I know they say that we're supposed to be able to talk about this stuff, but I don't trust them.
Yep.
What the hell is going on?
So the reporter went to House Democrat Hank Johnson and asked the question, does the smuggling of illegal immigrants across the southern border by criminals concern you? The Democrat Hank Johnson said, have you ever been to the border? The reporter said, yes. Democrat Hank Johnson responded, you didn't talk to the right people.
What does that even mean?
Well, there's no criminals involved in bringing illegal aliens across.
Well, it's just like
true. If you look at the news, if you look at the news photos, it's people working for the border security that are helping them climb up the slopes from the river or helping them over the razor wire.
All right, the missus. Do you have any more on that one?
I mean, who are you going to believe? You, the government or your own lying eyes, right?
And I'm really upset at the Republican National National Committee. You know what they did? They scheduled their debate at the same time as Mama's Bants because of reasons, I'm sure. Why is it important, Mark, do you think, to have a debate to see who's the second most popular Republican presidential candidate? What is that really doing at this point?
It's just their last desperate gasp. I'm talking about the media to have some sort of relevance. I mean, you're right. I mean, it is what it is. What's the point? I mean, Trump is so far ahead of anybody else that it's sort of a foregone conclusion at this point, at least as far as debate. I mean, why? Maybe they should just wait till they start actually having, some of the preliminary elections or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, that's just me.
All right.
Well, it's like the mainstream media wants to pretend that if Trump does a debate, that should disqualify him from being able to run. Everything that the mainstream media, the Democrats, and the Never-Trumpers have done is to make it seem like Trump shouldn't be able to run. And it just horribly backfires on them every time. Everything they do, it just makes his lead larger.
Yeah. Well, how far are we from the primaries? I mean, I can't remember. When's the first primary?
In January.
Yeah, January. Yeah.
I don't know. Just it's like they're pushing these debates like earlier and earlier. It's like Christmas sales.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we were in Walmart the other day. They have Christmas stuff up. It's not even October.
There you go. All right. Well, I think that's a good second turn down Conversation Street. It'll be so much better when we have an actual jazzy sort of montage. That sounds exactly like the Grand Tour.
Right.
All right. So anyway, it is all now time for
Think Real Fast.
Trump's organization on trial, but the judge turned the dial. He gave Trump the rod, charging him with fraud. The fraud was fraudulent loan applications on loans that were paid back in full. Mark, is it because Trump likes turtles?
No, I think it's because the judge likes turtles. He seems a turtle like
I like
kind of
turtles.
guy.
The Mrs.
He probably likes frogs too.
The Mrs. Why doesn't Trump understand that if he had a D after his name, he'd be given fun and prizes?
Yeah, and that would have been. That's really what he should do. Is he just should announce that he's now a Democrat and run as an independent. So I'm a Democrat now. You can't charge me with any of this stuff. And we haven't even talked about the whole Menendez thing, right? And the reason I didn't bring it up, probably the same reason you guys didn't bring it up, because we all know why they're going after Menendez.
Because he's so cartoonishly guilty?
No, because if that was the case, they would have found him guilty the first time around. No, the reason why the Justice Department is going after him now is so they can say, look, we go after even Democrats. We're so fair and even-handed.
No, I thought maybe it's because he forgot to give 10% to the big guy.
All right, moving along. He tried to say see ya, but the criminal U.S. soldier who fled to North Korea is back in U.S. custody after having been expelled from the Hermit Kingdom. Mark, please tell me why North Korea is best Korea.
I don't know, but I'm sure the guy will find the accommodations much better in federal prison than in North Korea.
That's such a weird story, too, right? I mean, really, I feel just like Gavin Newsom here.
What the hell is going on?
The hell is going
I
on?
probably thought he was going to be some hero in North Korea.
Yeah, hard to say.
So popular that you get like two rations of rice instead of the one.
Well, the real question is, how many billions of dollars did we give North Korea to get him back?
Oh, God.
Because they've certainly seen how we've dealt with Iran.
Well, I have
Where's
your
my
question.
billions of dollars?
I think you're both wrong because the question I have for you, the missus, is do you think it was because he beat Kim at Donkey Kong?
I don't know. I think he's too young to have ever played Donkey Kong. And let's be honest, younger generations don't play those old school video games because you can lose.
Oh, you walked me right into the next one. 95-year-old veteran of the Korean War was kicked out of a retirement home so the city of New York could put illegal aliens in it. Mark, do you think Kim Jong-un would take him if he promised not to beat him in Donkey Kong?
No. He's too old to work. What are they going to do? I guess maybe they could make him into chow mein or something, but...
Oh my! The missus.
That's a spicy hot take there, Mark.
And it's also a cue for the sounder.
What sounder?
Well, you were talking about eating humans. That's.
Oh, right. Let me get over there. Yep.
Massive cannibalism.
The missus. Is this housing shortage for U.S. veterans a sign we need to import more illegal aliens to build more nursing homes?
That's it. I mean, they're living in nursing homes where Americans won't live.
Oh my. Is the left daft? They want to reinstate the draft. After politics got woke, recruits evaporated like smoke because, well, they realized the left hates them. Now there's a concerted leftist push to reinstate the draft. Mark, are you worried or will you just show them your browser history?
Am I worried about what? Me being drafted?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Actually, I'm sort of two minds of that because, frankly, one of the reasons they get away with these forever wars is because the public just doesn't care, and they're not invested in it. But if they had a draft, people might pay more attention to what they use our troops for and how long they deploy them and everything, far more than they do currently. So I mean, maybe in the end it'd be a good thing, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out. What I'd be curious about is whether they're going to be equitable when they do the draft. Like, are we going to see 51% of the draftees being women?
And how many of them will be trans? Maybe they should all be trans.
Well, after they go through their brainwashing program as part of their basic training or boot camp, depending on which uh, branch they go into, maybe they'll all be trans.
And the missus, shouldn't every red-blooded boy want to fight for Zelensky's next mansion?
That's right. Yeah. Well, and that's why I think, because it's always the Democrats who bring up the draft, right? And they were the ones who, back in the Vietnam era, were the ones who didn't want it. They were the ones who were marching against it. They burned their draft cards and went to Canada, right?
Yeah,
And
but now they're in charge. Now they're in charge.
Well, the reason why they want it is because they want to make sure those rich Republican kids have to go. Now, never mind that it'll just be like the Bill Clintons and God, I can't. There's so many of them that will get out of having to go to the draft. And interestingly enough, they'll all be the children of Democrats. They don't want to send their kids to go do that. They were sending your kids to go do that, and my kids to go do that, not their kids.
Not that you have opinions.
No, not at all.
Well, our opinion, they're willing to, they respect our opinions as long as we don't disagree with them.
Right, as long as they're the same as theirs. Just like Cordonia, right. I respect other people's opinions as long as they're exactly the same as mine.
Well, moving along, the ground is shaking and the earth is quaking under Pompeii. Mark, is this why you hate Canada?
It's moving and shaking under where?
Pompeii.
Pompeii?
Turn your mic off and clear your throat.
Pompeii.
There you go.
Vesuvius.
Italy.
Okay.
Is this why you hate Canada? It's a very simple question.
Yeah, it is.
The missus, do you think that the Italians put a bunch of baking soda and vinegar under Italy?
That would explain a lot. Just saying. Yeah.
Maybe this is climate. So,
excuse me.
Jim says, not following here, and I'm just being a little non sequitur. And if you're interested, Google Campi Flegrei. FLE.
You can't even say it. How are people supposed to spell it?
Italian. Well, spelling it, Campi, CAMPI, FLEGREI, super volcano. If you want to stay awake at nights. All right. This is the last one.
It's Italian, like fragile.
Yeah, fragile. It's a major award.
It's not too late. Biden wants to pay Kenya $14 billion to invade Haiti. Mark, how much would you do it for?
Haiti? I wouldn't touch Haiti with a 10-foot pole. Ugh.
Well, so you're saying $14 billion isn't enough for you to invade Haiti? There's a price in there. I would invade.
Take the $14 billion and hire someone else to do it.
Well, yeah.
I think that's what Biden's doing.
Is what I'm saying.
Gosh, why? What are we supposed to be invading them for? What did they do lately?
That's not the question. It's not our job to question why we're invading Haiti. It's our job to get you to invade Haiti. So how much?
We can't invade Haiti. That's the oldest black-run republic in the world.
No, how much does it cost for you to invade Haiti? I mean, you got to get your army together, and I mean,
$1 trillion. Give me $1 trillion, and I'll have Haiti for them.
See, was that so hard? The missus, do you think that when Kenya invades Haiti, that's how the voodoo zombie apocalypse starts?
Silence! I kill you!
That's how it goes. Yeah. And then, of course, after you have that, you know what comes next.
Massive cannibalism.
So.
What is zombie apocalypse?
I was thinking an HIV outbreak in Kenya, but okay.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Oh my!
Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, that is all of Think Real Fast.
Think real fast.
See, remember, I can't read your mind. Just because you say
Well, I said the
doesn't
words.
necessarily mean that I know that the next words out of your mouth are going to be, we're done with this segment, so go ahead and hit the sounder.
So
I can't
Mark,
see you, remember?
So I'm gonna have to warn you. My low battery thing came on my phone. So if I just disappear and you don't hear from me again, that's probably why.
like ever, you can charge the battery, Mark.
Here's the sound of Mark running away from this podcast.
all right, fine. Here, let me put it on the charger. See if you can hear me.
No, you're fine, Mark. You're fine. Do you
hear
have
me
any?
now?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any last minute?
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Tell me
now?
you're wearing glasses and a lab coat.
Here's Mark.
I'm on vacation.
What do you people want?
Any last bits of wisdom, Mark?
Last bits of wisdom. Oh yeah. If you have poor cell reception, don't order Dachshund.
That's a good. That's not one I've ever thought of, but that's a good one. The missus, do you have any parting thoughts for this wonderful evening?
Which one's better, that one or this one? Because the second one is a sheep.
The first one.
Yeah.
So that's your deep thought for the evening.
That's it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thanks everyone for joining us once again for Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. I guess Canada was just took everyone by surprise, and we'll have to wonder. And I want everyone to think why you hate Canada. So when we get back,
it's because they stole our baseball teams.
Could be. Anyway,
and we stole their hockey teams. So
I'm John.
Because they gave us Justin Bieber.
That's the good reason.
All right, this is Mark. Bye.
And I'm the missus. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Rants.